They're all coming in now. Welcome, everyone. So good to see everybody jumping in tonight. How are you all going? I would love for you to pop in where you're from, who your amazing consultant is, or who invited you along tonight, in the little chat box down the bottom, so we know who we're all talking with and meeting with tonight. So we're going to have a full house. So we're very excited to be bringing you the Lazy Lunches workshop. So my name is Tracy. I live in the Grampians region, and the team that you're seeing tonight is actually one of Australia and New Zealand's top team. We have been in probably the top 3 to 4 teams in the past 4 months, and regularly up there. So tonight you are going to be entertained by the absolute best while we go through some of these beautiful lazy lunchbox ideas. So before we get started, I want to introduce you to my crew. So we've got Anne O'Connor. He's up there in Bendigo. She's been with Thermomix over 10 years. So there's Anne. We've got Simone Wills down the bottom, who's in Hayden, which is near Horsham. You've been with us for about 3 or 4 years now, I think, Simone. Yep. And we've got Kim Van Buren, who's up in Horsham, who's also been with us for about 8 or 9 years, Kim. Would that be right?
Yes, yep.
Yeah, so you've got a massive information. So we're going to be showing you some top tips, some great recipes, and we're also going to be showing you the new slicer grater, which we're calling the Thermomix cutter. But there's more to a Thermomix than just slicing potatoes. So we're going to show you all the functions tonight. Hope to show you some really good tips and tricks that you can take away with you. And congratulations to those on tonight that have invited their guests along. So you're actually a host tonight with your friends. So you will be opening up some host rewards as well. So if you're not sure what that is, reach out to your consultant or pop it in the chat and we can fill you in. Not a problem at all. So tonight our theme is lazy lunches. We're not just talking about school. We're not just talking about work. We're talking about all those things. You know, do you work at home? Do you go to an office? Do you have school kids? Do you have kinder? So the lunches we're going to be showing you tonight are very versatile, regardless of where you work, whether it be shift work, 9 to 5, whatever. So first up, we're going to have the amazing Simone show us a muesli bar. Now, this is not an ordinary muesli bar, is it, Simone?
No, it's actually got popcorn in it instead of flour and stuff like that. And it's got oats, no nuts, and it's got, what do you call them? Dried cranberries in it. So,
oh, yum. So it's like a nut-free muesli bar. So
yeah.
These days with a lot of allergies and things, most schools don't allow you to take nuts to school.
No,
so this
definitely
is a great
not.
option, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what have you got there? What are you doing now?
So at the moment, I've actually got, I put some, oh, my mouth's gone blank, orange peel in there, and then I milled it for 10 seconds on speed 9, so it was nice and fine. Then I added honey, sugar, butter, maple syrup, vanilla essence to that, and that's cooking for 7 minutes, and I've got 18 seconds to go because it's not really that exciting, that part.
So Simone, did you have to dry the orange peel? No, you just milled it straight off.
I just peeled the orange last night actually and put it in a bag ready for today. And then it just mills it down really fine. So, and this recipe I've actually put on my created recipes because it was from somewhere else. So now I've got it on here all the time. So
awesome.
The next step, it says to add, you can see, whether you can see in there.
Oh, yeah, just tilt it a bit forward. Yep. So it's like a caramel sort of.
It's a bit like what you make for honey crackles. That's what it smells like.
Oh, yum.
So you add 50 grams of oats, which is just whatever oats you've got in the cupboard. 50 grams of coconut. Then I've got me cranberries, which are dried. They look a bit like chocolate chips. Maybe chocolate chips would be better. And 50 grams of popcorn. Now, I just bought a packet and popped it in the microwave. 100 grams of popcorn is a bag of popcorn. So basically half a bag. Oh, shit. Too much. Lid on. And then I'm going to blend it for 10 seconds on speed 3 on reverse, because reverse means that it won't chop it up. So we just do reverse.
So we're just mixing. We don't want to mill it down any further.
No.
So we've got like a honey syrup mixing the oats and things like that.
Absolutely divine.
Oh, yum.
And then the rest of the popcorn you put in a bowl. And you add what's Thermomix into a bowl. So it definitely currently looks like honey crackles, but made with popcorn. It smells just as good.
Oh, wish we had smell-o-vision. I'd love to know if anyone's made this sort of muesli bar before and what recipe they used, or whether they've actually made honey joys. It's another great lunchbox idea.
So you basically just stir it around in the bowl, and then you just add it to the tin. I've got a nice silicone one from the mix shop. They come out super easy, and you just put it in the fridge and cool it. I did one last night, so they were ready for tonight. So yeah, and that's all that is. Just mix it up and put it in there.
So have you pressed it into the tin now?
I'm just about to do that.
Okay, can you bring your camera down a little bit so we can see? Perfect. So this is the mini muffin loaf from Cookie Doo. They've actually got 30% off at the moment. So these are great for zucchini slices or any kind of savoury muffin or sweet muffin. You can use these as a mini loaf. So they're like an individual serving. So for example, if you wanted to do zucchini slice for lunch boxes or work lunches, this silicone loaf pan is absolutely fantastic for that. Also with some banana bread or things like that, which we're going to be showing you a bit later on. So as you can see, Simone is literally just pushing the mixture into the molds, and they will then, do we cook them then, Simone?
No, they just go in. Yeah, just in the fridge.
Great. So these are a bake-free muesli bar. Awesome.
And then you put chocolate on them later.
Awesome. That is fantastic. Now, where's this recipe from?
I actually got it out of a book from Thermomix. It's called Lunchbox and Afternoon and After School Ideas. The book's about 8 years old or something. So
yeah, we can't find the link for that recipe.
No.
So, but reach out. We might be able to do a sneaky thing. I didn't say that anyway. So anyway, okay. Thanks, Simone. We might pop back in a little while and have a look at those covered with a bit of chocolate or something. How's that sound?
Very good.
Great. Thank you. They look delicious, don't they, Kim? Do you reckon that's something you do for your kids? You're on mute, doll.
Well, that will help, won't it?
Yeah.
Thank you. Not a good start. No, that is absolutely beautiful. And so many bars, so many muffins. I love, love, love doing them all. You know exactly what's going in. No preservatives. Absolutely beautiful. And I know that smell that Simone said with the caramelization bit, absolutely beautiful. So,
yep, beautiful. What are you doing for us, Kim?
Well, I'm going to do a couple of things, and I don't know whether you can see my screen that well, but I thought I'd put them into a week. So I love it. I've got my 3 things that I'll be making tonight. And my first one is the pull-apart sunshine bread. This is one of my favourite. This is the 3rd one of these I've made today. I love it because it's simple, it's quick, there's no proving. I'm the mum that if I don't have anything for lunch boxes that morning, I think, oh, there's no bread, this is what I will make, and it is absolutely beautiful. So let me start. Enough talking. So it's asking me to preheat the oven. I have done that. It has asked me to grease and then flour our beautiful bundt tin. Have you seen our rose gold bundt tin? Isn't that just beautiful? So I have put that aside over there. Now it's asking me to put the cheddar cheese. Now I did want to show you this cheddar cheese is what I have grated in our new grater. So it is perfect. It has a beautiful elongated slice, but it's got a little bit more to it than a normal box grater. So it's just asking me to put my 150 grams in. You can put it in blocks, but I actually grated a whole block. So that's mine there. It's asking for some bacon. So everyone loves a little bit of bacon and cheese, don't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Some fresh parsley. Now, I've only got a little bit of parsley, so I'm actually going, and I do like parsley, so I've just added a little bit of dried parsley there to that as well. Popping our lid on, and then just for 5 seconds. Voila, how good is that? Now it is just saying to just take out, and I will show you that. Can you see that? All chopped up, beautiful bacon bits, parsley and cheese. It's asking me to put half of the mixture into a bowl and leave the other half into our Thermomix. There we go. Now, 350 grams of self-raising flour, in that goes. Some softened butter, just cubes there. That goes in. And some salt. Now, salt and pepper, it will say. I've just got a combination of salt and pepper. So I'm just going to twist that. And then pop our lid on. 4 seconds. That will mix up. Beautiful. I'm adding 200 grams of milk to this dough just to give it a little bit. So that's kind of, I will show you this. It's kind of a bit like, you know, your breadcrumb consistency. I've just knocked a little bit of butter off in there.
But, yeah.
You know how you would kind of use your fingers to do that? Okay, 200 grams of milk goes in. Pop the lid back on. 15 seconds, and that's our dough done.
Kim, so I would think this would probably be the quickest bread recipe there is, because you've put all your herbs and that already in, and it's kneading.
And I don't know about you, but to buy that beautiful Baker's Delight or any type of rolls with bacon and cheese on, they are so expensive. So now our dough is done. I'm just going to sprinkle my mat just lightly with a bit of flour because this dough tends to be a little bit wet. So there we go. To get our dough out, I'm just giving the bowl a little bit of a shake, or crumbly, just turning the little knob at the bottom clockwise, and any excess will come out. So there we go. So this is our beautiful dough, and in our recipe it says to roll out into a log, approximately 30 centimetres. Now, this is like a ruler in length, so I don't know. There we go. That looks pretty good to me. You can make it as pretty as you like. Mine's, I'll put this down just a little. There we go. Okay, now it's asking me to cut this into 10 pieces. Let's cut it in half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 9. Beautiful. Now, what it's actually saying, this is my mixture of the cheese and bacon. Where I've cut it, and I did use these beautiful little cutters that we have on our mat, so we don't cut the mat. And it's saying just to dip it into more cheese and bacon and just apply it into our bundt tin like so. So I'm just popping some of the mixture on, just pressing that down lightly and just putting it into, the bundt tin. Like.
I see what you do. So you've got it inside the mixture, but you're also pressing it onto the side?
Onto the side that we actually cut, Tracy. So that will actually... And I'm just going to go around there, and then I'm going to sprinkle it with any leftover around, and I'm just going to bake that for 25 minutes.
Wow, that's so easy. Now, we've also had someone ask, if you don't have a bundt tin, what do you use? Any kind of tin's fine, as long as they're touching. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yep. Any tin is fine. I love a bundt tin because when you tip it out, it looks amazing. But any tin is good to go. As long as they are touching, you don't have to baste it with any type of butter or anything, because I think there's and the oil in the bacon. So that is my beautiful sunshine bread there, ready to go into the oven for 25 minutes.
Oh, yum. That looks awesome. Thank you. We'll definitely come back and have a look at that one. Definitely, Kim. So what we're going to be doing now, we're actually going to be going back to Simone, where I can, here she is. So this is another beautiful recipe in relation to bread, but bread with a difference. So what have you got there, Simone?
I'm actually making banana bread bites. Hang on a minute, I forgot the maple syrup.
Yep, that's all right. Now, Nadine has put on that it's great for the other recipe we had to break it up for scrolls and calzone for lunches and things like that. Absolutely. And because it's all made in one hit, doesn't mean it has to be eaten that way. It can be shared and pulled apart, as what the name says. So absolutely, lots of different ideas. Georgie's going to make it tomorrow, which is awesome. So what do you got for us, Simone?
So I've got something called banana bread bites, and they come from another external site, but the recipe is actually on Google. So
I'll try and find it. Yep.
So it is on.
Don't worry about that. You just keep going. I'll try and find it on here.
So in my Thermomix, I'm going to put 3 ripe bananas, and 2 of them are exceptionally ripe.
Yeah.
Maple syrup. 80 grams of maple syrup. Oh, won't come out. Oh. Going to be a long night. It's going to squeeze like that. Oh. Oh.
Pop it in the microwave.
That's all right. It's nearly empty. Oops, too much, too bad. So you can actually use maple syrup, honey, or sugar. I've chosen maple syrup. It doesn't really matter. I mean, the bananas are really, really sweet anyway.
Yeah.
Then we're going to put that on speed 4 for 5 seconds. And that's basically going to mush up the banana.
Awesome. I've just found the recipe and popped it in the chat. So as I'm putting the recipes in the chat, if you'd like to keep them, I didn't have the previous one, that Simone did. You can right click and copy them if you like, or you can reach out to your consultant and they'll be able to help you with those.
This looks like roast banana. Anyway, so you put your self-raising flour in here. A teaspoon of salt. A slosh of vanilla. Oops, 1 egg.
Can we just point your camera down just a little bit, just so we can see the screen? So, because this, you're actually, well, it's a bit glary at the moment, but that's okay. So you're actually doing this manually from the recipe off the website. Yeah. Beautiful.
Thermomix has got stuff on the screen. Live TV.
That's a good tip.
What,
So
live TV?
if you do get moisture, just wipe it off.
Yeah.
Fine.
So I don't know if you can't see probably can't see the recipe, Tracy.
That's all right. No.
But this is another created recipe.
Does everybody know how to use the created recipe section on Cookie-Doo? And does people know how to scale down your recipes and add your own? I'd love to know whether you do or not, because I can always do a session like this and show you guys how to use it if that's something that you would be interested in.
So now I'm going to do it on speed 3 for 10 seconds. And then it's ready to put in the tin. And I've got my fabulous little mini muffin tin. And I use a small ice cream scoop.
Ah, because it's going to be like a muffin consistency, is it?
Yeah. So.
Okay. So we've had a few people that use the created recipes, which is great.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Awesome. And that is the right size for a mini muffin tin.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit too much, but you know.
Yeah.
I always use an ice cream scoop to put it in me patty pans and stuff.
Yeah.
Because then the normally patty pans are exactly the same.
So you're just scooping them in.
Yeah. And then you just put them in the oven, 180 degrees until they cook. I cook mine at 170 because my oven's really hot.
Yeah.
Just depends how hot your oven is.
Yep. Can you just move your tray back towards the Thermomix a bit? Yeah. Oh, okay. So you're filling them, 3/4 filling them, definitely.
They're probably 100% full.
So this is a great recipe you could use. You know, as Kim said before, you haven't got anything ready. Whip in a few bananas and some flour and you're good to go. So another great recipe. Did you grease the tray, Simone?
No, you don't grease these ones. I'm not quite sure why, but they say not to grease the rose gold ones. So
yep. So they're non-stick. They're great for toddlers. Absolutely, they are.
And you don't put the rose gold in the dishwasher. Otherwise, it will lose its
yeah, awesome. Okay, while you're doing that, Simone, we're gonna zip over to Anne, because Anne is going to be showing us how to do some rice paper rolls, which are a great idea if you're wanting to go a little bit more low carb. You want to remove a little bit of bread. We've catered for the bread people, but we're now catering for people who wants to lower their bread consumption or have a lighter option. So Anne's going to talk us through the Vietnamese jackfruit. What's a jackfruit?
I actually don't know. How good's that? But let me show you.
It's a Vietnamese fruit. That's what it is.
Yeah, is it? Okay, all right. You
Yeah.
buy them in a tin. Oh, my camera's not going so well. But you buy the young jackfruit. The older jackfruit is sweeter. So you buy the young jackfruit and it's in a brine, not in a syrup. So I learned all this today. Nothing like cooking a recipe on a cooking class when you haven't cooked it before. But anyway, what I'm going to make first is a bunch of muffins, and these are coffee date muffins. So I'm sorry that my screen is glary. I have tried to eliminate that, and if anyone's got any tips on how to eliminate that, I would love it. So these are coffee date muffins. Preheat your oven to 180 degrees. Spray and line muffin tins. Now, a little tip for when you're cooking muffins is to put some rice in the bottom. So if your muffin has a high butter content, and they seep out in, like in your cupcakes as well, and they seep out into it, then that absorbs it and stops it from being so greasy. So we've done that. And so 150 grams of pitted dates. Now, the recipe says in the tips, always read the tips at the bottom of a recipe. The recipe says to use soft dates. So you use medjool dates, which are generally kept in the fridge. If you're going to use just normal dried dates, what I recommend you do is you pour, this is going to have water in with it when it mixes it. So you take the dates, you put the coffee grounds in here, like it's instant coffee, you put that in here, and then you pour the water over it if you're using the regular dry dates. And that will soften the dates before you mix them. So you can do it. You don't have to buy the medjool dates because they are a bit more expensive. But if you soak them, now you have to make sure that there's no stones in them. You open every single one, even if it says that they are stoned, just open it. Now 180 grams of warm water. So this helps to soften it. Watching my scale as I go. All right. And then a tablespoon of granulated coffee, instant coffee, with half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and then half a teaspoon of bicarb of soda. And then we put the lid, 90 grams of butter, beg your pardon, goodness gracious. So unsalted butter softened, well, mine is, salted butter, because that's what I had, and 120 grams of brown sugar, delissimo, in it goes, and 2 eggs, which we've got at room temperature, and then 180 grams of plain flour in.
Oh my God, you're whizzing through this recipe. It must be absolutely just simple, all your basic ingredients.
Yeah, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and fine MC. And it just tells you to put that on. Then next, we mix it. Mix it for 10 seconds on speed 5.
Now, I've made these often because I find them a really good alternative to having a really sweet muffin, but not having a savoury muffin. You know what I mean? So it sort of covers that in between bit. So if you haven't tried them, give them a go. They're absolutely delicious.
Yeah, you make them, Tracy, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I must be the only person in the world that hasn't made them. Anybody else made them? Put it in the chat. Scrape it down.
You're inspiring me, Anne. I haven't made them either.
I haven't made them.
They're beautiful. Mm.
Well, there's something like 285 people that have recommended this. So just 10 seconds again.
We can't all be silly.
I know.
This is great. I love this idea. This is why we love doing these workshops for you guys, because we like to find different recipes that we haven't tried, but also we want to hear some of your recipes to inspire us. So if you've got a favourite lunchbox treat, please pop it in the chat and let us know what it is.
So 22 minutes at 180 and you're done. So look, honestly, you could do this in the morning before work if if you're stuck for something and want to do it in a hurry. It's a beautiful mixture. I'm going to put it in the patty tins and cook them. Before I go, I'm going to grate some, is that right, Tracy? I'm grating some carrots.
Okay, so before we're going to swap around, Anne's just going to have a little bit of a breather. So I am just going to jump on here. So tell me what's one of your favorite muffins. I want to hear it. I want to hear one of your favorite loaves or bread, banana bread, or muffin ideas. Pop it in the chat for me. You don't need to know what the recipe is, but just what your favorite combination is. So today we've done a pull apart bread that you can share with a crowd. You can pull it apart for scrolls and things. Now we're going to be showing you the Vietnamese rice paper rolls, which I got mixed up before. So I'm now going to move over to Anne, who looks like she's ready, and she's going to be showing you our new slicer, grater, cutter that is available as a host reward at the moment.
So it comes with the shaft and then a collection bowl, which sits over the shaft in here. And then,
okay, can we just go back? We might need to do this a little bit slower. So this is an accessory that is extra. It is not part of what you purchase when you purchase a Thermomix straight up. It is an opportunity for you to purchase an extra accessory to slice and grate. So Anne's now going to show us how that works.
the cutter has two sides. It will grate on one side and slice on the other. So I've got a little ditty for how it works. Grate for grating, slate for slicing, because it took me a while to remember it. Forwards for big and reverse for fine. So it will have a mode on the 6, but on the 5, you will do it manually. You only go to speed 4. It's like the butterfly, you only go to speed 4. So then I've got the cutter in, and then we place the lid on. The lid can go both ways. You can have the chute at the front or you can have the chute at the back. And then the chute has a large area and a finer area. So if you're doing something that's a bit skinny, it'll go in there. All I'm going to do, normally I would do more, but hey folks, I have grated and sliced so much carrot in the last while. And my dog is sick of eating carrot, and so are we, because we've done so much of it showing everyone. So tonight, I'm just going to do a small portion of these Vietnamese spring rolls, and I'm going to grate a small portion of carrot for you. I'm going to grate it finely, because it's going to go in the rolls. So you just place it in the chute, and then I will just have to cancel that recipe. And I'm just going to put it on reverse, and I'm going to do speed 4. So in it goes. Some lessons I've learnt with using the cutter slicer: don't do lettuce; it goes to mush.
What happened to your lettuce, Anne?
It just turned to mush. It was hilarious. My family had a great laugh out of it. This is just perfectly fine. This is great if you're making veggie rissoles, halloumi and veggie rissoles or something like that. It's good for zucchini slice. You can do your carrot fine. You can do your zucchini larger. And another tip when you're doing zucchini slice, which is a really great lunch thing to do, is to do your veggies, put them in a nut milk bag and squeeze the juice out of them, and then you'll have a less soggy zucchini slice. So I might just leave for now and get my plate ready for the Vietnamese rolls, and we will do them in a minute. I can put the peanut sauce on if you like, Tracy.
Yeah, we'd like to do the peanut sauce now, Anne, if we can, please. So these rice paper rolls, what Anne was showing you as far as the grating function, you can do all this all ready to go. So you could do a batch of a week, keep them in your vacuum seal container, which I'm going to show you a bit later on, and make them fresh every day if you wanted to, which is absolutely fantastic. There is a lot of different opportunities to use the slicer. Cucumber, all those sorts of things are absolutely fantastic. I'm going to show you the salad I did earlier a bit later on. But for now, I'm going to keep going with these Vietnamese rice paper rolls. And Anne's going to be showing us the peanut sauce.
Yes, but before that, I prepared this jackfruit earlier. It starts off as a pale pink, and then you add some flavourings to it. So you actually cook it in the oven on a baking tray. So it's got this mixture here, has got garlic, eschalots, which you could substitute onions for. They are used in a lot of Asian dishes because they are sweeter and softer, and they're these brown things that you see in the supermarket, but you can substitute onion for that.
Red onion, Anne, is really good.
Yeah,
it's a bit sweeter. And
Yeah.
can we just drop your camera down a little bit, just
Yes,
so we can?
certainly. That's so good. Sorry. And then you put the jackfruit in with your onion and your garlic, some Chinese spice, and then you cook it, and then some hoisin sauce and some tamari, which is a form of soy, and it's gluten-free. You can get it quite regularly in the supermarket now. Rice wine vinegar, all of that is in here, and some tomato paste and sriracha sauce. Now, if you're cooking for children, don't add the sriracha. The sriracha I store upside down so that it doesn't get a crust on it, and it's quite spicy. So, but that's in it. Right, we've done all that, and then you cook that in the oven. It's got some arrowroot in it to thicken it. You cook it in here, and then you cook it in the oven, spread out on the tray for 10 minutes, break it up with a fork, cook it for another 10 minutes, and then let it set. And it looks like pulled pork, but it's vegetarian. So
now, each of those steps that Anne just mentioned, it sounds like a lot. It's not. It's all step by step. It's in the recipe. We just didn't want to waste 20 minutes showing you how to lay it out on a tray and bake it in the oven. So, yeah. So the recipe now I've put in the chat. If anybody wanted the Vietnamese rice paper rolls, absolutely. It's there for you now.
I apologise for the glare on my screen. I'm so sorry. I just don't know how to get rid of that. But I've got 2 cloves of garlic in there, and I'm just going to chop them very quickly, 5 seconds.
So the peanut sauce is something you could also have ready in the fridge.
Yes, you could.
Yep.
And this is nice with, you know, lots of things. So I just love the way this baby cuts the garlic. It's amazing. A tip when you're chopping garlic is to always have a dry bowl. So
do you know what else I've been told, Anne? To start the cutter and put the garlic in while it's turning.
Oh, okay. If you're going to use the cutter, okay, all right.
I mean, no, the blade. Sorry, turn the blades on and then throw the garlic in through the lid.
Oh, okay, that's a good tip. All right, we've got 80 grams of roasted unsalted peanuts. Seriously, you can just use salted. Just buy a packet of salted peanuts. It's fine. And then chop that down. Noisy. Scrape it down, and then add 2 teaspoons of peanut oil. If you haven't got peanut oil, just use any oil. Tell you what, I'm going to chop that down. I don't know how well you can see that, but I'm actually just going to chop that a little bit more.
This is a great one to freeze. With Kerry makes this and freezes it in smaller portions, along with a lot of all our other sauces and pastes and things you can do. Great idea, Kerry. Thank you. You could even do it in little ones. So you've got little tubs. You could grab one out of the freezer, whip up a rice paper roll because you've got it all ready to go, and take it to work.
Yes.
It'd be good on a chicken skewer too, wouldn't it? The sauce.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or a beef skewer.
Yes, it would. It really would. All right. So now we're going to add 60 grams of water. Tear it off. Oh, don't you love it when you nail it? 1.5 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar. golly, got the wrong one. And also 1.5 tablespoons of mirin. You want to see what they look like? That's the rice wine vinegar and the mirin. What have I done with it? I put it on. Here it is. All right. And
That's usually sold at Asian stores. Not many supermarkets have that.
I just got them at my supermarket. Coles. So it's 50 grams of the hoisin sauce. So you got that? I was like heck that I've got 50 grams here. Beautiful. And I think this sriracha, yeah. So eliminate this, leave this out if you don't want it. It's hot. I love it. And then we just cook this, I believe. Yes. I know, we mix it, beg your pardon. That's done.
Yep. So recap, this is the peanut sauce that is going to go with our rice paper rolls, everyone.
Delish.
Yum, looks good. Some people use tomato paste instead of the hot sauce. So you
Good
get a
idea.
little bit of a tang. Or
Yes.
even a barbecue sauce would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Now, I am going to leave it for there, so I will clear my bench because I've got an absolute mess here. And I will be back with some assembled and I will show you one as well. So thank you very much for watching.
No worries, Anne. We look forward to seeing how you're going to be doing those. Definitely. So, Kim,
Yes. What are we making today?
are we coming across to you to do the sushi?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've got it all. Now, I love the grater as well, and Anne's done some amazing grating, and I just wanted to show you, I make sushi all the time for the kids. This is my carrot, which is grated on a thick, which is just a little bit thicker than Anne's thin for hers. These are the sliced thin cucumbers, which I love. And have a look at this. Have a How perfect.
Oh, yum. Yep.
How perfect is that? So this is what I've prepped to actually go into our sushi. Now, I'm not going to show you how to cook rice, but it is the recipe's under sushi rice in Cookie Do, and I will go through it, but I just already have cooked it. It's just asking us to put our simmering basket in, weigh our rice in there, add water to the bowl, and then for 20 minutes that cooks. While that's cooking, we've got a little bowl and we make our own seasoning for our rice, which is rice vinegar, caster sugar and salt. Now, while this is cooking, you actually just mix all that together in a bowl. After it is cooked, it says to place it in not a metal bowl, just a container like so, and pour the dressing over the top, and then just give it a good stir, and then just keep that into the fridge. So quite often, again, if I don't have the bread, the kids love sushi rolls, and you can fill it with whatever. Tonight,
Kim,
yeah.
What the difference is the actual flavouring that you're mixing through. Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. Yep.
Flavour through our rice. So that is ready to excuse me, do that. What I've also got here is you know, the crab sticks that you can, or that you buy just from the supermarket. I've just cut those in half.
Oh.
And chicken as well. Some like chicken, some don't. Now, the other thing I really wanted to quickly show you, and I know that you're going to talk about this a little bit later, but I actually loved pickled type of vegetables, fermenting and all that. This is what Tracy's going to be talking about a little bit later. I'm actually just going to lift the seal on that and release that and show you my beautiful pickled radish, cucumber, and onions. So that is absolutely beautiful. So I'll be adding some of those in my.
So you sliced all that up with your cutter?
I have all in my cutter. Look how beautiful and fine that onion is.
Yeah, yum.
Absolutely beautiful. And my daughter behind me is stirring on the stove my relish that I'm making. I sliced a kilo of onions in, I think, 4 seconds. Making relish as we're talking as well. Okay, so to make my sushi, you can use the mats. I find this little whiz-bang thing absolutely amazing. It's called Sushizi. You can get it online. I just find it's a lot simpler and a lot easier to use than the mats. So with this, I'm actually just going to put our rice. Can you see that there?
Yep, we can see it perfect, Kim. Thank you.
Excellent. So that's just going to go on one side and also some rice on the other. And I've got a little jar of water here as well. The rice is really quite tacky and it will stick to you like glue. So it's always good to use this with wet fingers as well. So once we've got our rice into our mould, the sushizi, we're just pushing this down just to make like a little bit of a crater in the centre of that. And I'm just going to scoop out any excess because we don't want it all going everywhere. Now you can fill it with whatever you like. So let's go some avocado. And I'm going to go with some carrot. And again, I'm loving the carrot because it's a little bit thicker than a box grate on the carrot. So it's going to have a bit of crunch. But when I used to do these, I used to cut them in like a matchstick. So this is going to be a lot nicer.
Oh, it's going to save you a heap of time.
Oh, a heap of time, which it did. So I'm just popping some mayonnaise there. And I'm just putting one of our seafood sticks here.
Kim, I would not have thought to get those seafood sticks for that. That's a great idea.
Oh, the kids love them. And then just a little bit of my beautifully sliced cucumber, perfect size all the time. And I've just cut them in half just so they fit into the mould. And then we pop our little plunger in. Now, I may have overfilled these, but it'll be okay. We're just going to use a little bit of force to hopefully squish that in and down. Here we go. Once that is locked in, so you lock the 2 little clips, you put the cap on the end, and then you actually twist the plunger to make it really firm. There we go. Now, I'm just going to...
So you're compressing... It looks like you're compressing the ingredients down to a firm roll, yes?
Really, really well. And now I've just got my little nori sheets here, which I'm just going to grab some out, or 1 out. And I'm just going to wet, here's my little bowl of water, just wet one side of it, release the cap, and then just gently squeezing out on the end. Let me twist it all the way through. Oh, it really doesn't want to come and it'll probably go all over the screen. Love alive. I think, actually, I've got a little bit of carrot caught in here. So let me open it up and I'm just going to use my spoon. Isn't that funny? That has never happened before, but it's always going to.
It always happens when you're online. I've just put the website on for everyone, but you can get it on eBay and a few other places, and they're not that expensive.
They're not, no, and they always work. Always.
But generally, it will just push out the bottom end, yeah, the whole lot.
Yep. I just mustn't have enough muscle tonight.
You're probably worn out.
Yeah. Actually, I am going to get rid of that. And I'm just
Yep.
going to try another one. Shouldn't be. Actually,
Maybe
I don't
because you
know.
overfilled it a little bit, Kim.
I think it, oh, hang on, here we go. I've got it moving. And I'm just going to.
Maybe we need to tell Thermomix to get some of these in.
Oh, they are just the best. Now, I've just kind of snapped this open.
Yeah, but we
as you
get the
can see,
idea. Yep.
but I'm going to make another one because it isn't that hard to make. I'm just going to pop that there and just roll it. And I'm just going to dampen the other side as well and just pop that onto my plate. Yeah, but that is your beautiful sushi rolls. Let me try. Can I try one more? Do we have a little bit of time?
Yeah,
Just
go
quickly.
for it. Yep.
It's pretty embarrassing.
People
Okay.
don't mind if we go a bit over. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
They can jump
Excellent.
in or out. It's awesome.
Yeah, so we're just adding the rice, maybe not as much as what I had the first time and just the second time as well. And maybe because I should have fluffed it up this second time. See, I'm not fluffing it up. It should maybe be a little bit fluffier, which I should have.
Yeah.
And maybe that's compressing it not quite as well either. Again, whatever you like in your sushi. Let's just go a little bit of avocado again. Perfectly sliced, and I love it because I never get nice even slices when I do this. Whereas now,
What I found also, Kim, with the grater and the slicer, the cucumber, you know how you cut it in half?
yes.
If you cut your cucumber in half before you slice it.
Oh,
And your carrots, that, yeah.
Yep, that is a really, really good tip, actually. That is brilliant. Okay, let's try it again. Here, I'm going to try a little bit.
Probably hope it works.
Oh, gosh. Well, you know what? If it doesn't, it'll still taste as good. But
Yeah,
I'll pop it off and making the rest, and I bet then they work absolutely perfect. Okay, so there's my sheet all ready to go. Popping, clicking it down. There we go, popping it in. That goes on. I can't get that on. There we go. Lock that in. I'm just turning the rod just to compress that. It's actually moving, which is great. Now, this is how easy. Take two. This is how easy the sushi is.
Oh, get out.
How beautiful is that? Perfect every time, except the first time I go. So that is our sushi rolls. Absolutely
what do we think of that,
beautiful.
people? Oh, my God. That looks really great. I'm going to try some because some of you may or may not know I'm on pre-op at the moment. So I can't have rice, but I can have cauliflower. And I can have seaweed. So you can make a cauliflower or broccoli rice with these.
Absolutely beautiful. And my children take these to school as well. So I put them into a cooler pack. They take them and all their friends fight over their lunches because they want their lunches because they love sushi. Why can't you have sushi?
Thank you.
Really quick and simple. And if you're wanting something, have it all pre-cut, have your rice done, and then make them in the morning.
Yeah.
Which
awesome.
is cool.
Thank you
Beautiful.
so much. Thank you. We're going to add Anne back. Lyndall did a zucchini instead of the rice and finally grated it. So you could do a mixture of any kind of vegetable as a sushi, which is absolutely delicious. So thank you very much. We're going to be coming back to you in a little bit. So Anne's been showing us this amazing Vietnamese rice paper rolls. I'd love to know who has made rice paper rolls. So these are fantastic alternatives to the standard sandwiches. That's what we want to show you, something a little bit different and show you some new skills today as well. So here we go. And now she's bought the rice paper rolls from most supermarkets. You get them now, Anne, I think? You're on mute, darling. Smoked salmon in sushi would go wonderful, Sarah. Yum.
I bought these from the supermarket. They do come in different sizes, and they're firm, obviously, if you've never done them before, and you soak them in water.
How long do you soak them for?
Not long, not long. So I've got one already done here on the thing, and hang on, I'll just get rid of that thing.
Do you soak them or do you literally dip them?
No, you soak them a wee bit. And
Okay.
what I've done is I've poured hot water over some vermicelli noodles and then drained them. So you pour hot water over them until they're soft, break them up with a fork. You can throw in some cold water to stop them from cooking and drain them. And then we're going to make the roll. So you can put basil or mint along the bottom, any way you like. I'm going to put basil on this first one.
So you can see Anne's pre-cut. She's got her carrot and all that pre-done, her veggies ready to go. So once again, these are ones that you can have prepped in the fridge and make on the go or first thing in the morning.
This is the jackfruit that we're putting here. And then
it looks like meat.
It does look like meat, doesn't it? It's amazing. Take your vermicelli noodles and put them in. You can put in as much as you like. Now, lettuce, it says butter lettuce. You can use cabbage if you want. And then I've got some cucumber. And of course, I've got our carrot. So fold it up from the bottom, fold it in. Oh, and they're sticky as, oh my goodness.
So they're sticking to your fingers, but they're not breaking.
No, that's
Is that it?
That's it. And I've got another one here, which I may have left in the water just a little bit. And I have left that in. You don't leave it in for long, but just trying to do it on Zoom. And then you just repeat it with, and so you could add capsicum, you can add avocado, you can do lettuce, or you can do cabbage. You can, the ingredients that you like. And it's vegetarian because we've got the jackfruit, and then we've got a beautiful peanut dipping sauce. So the next one, I'm going to place mint in it. I'll just do a couple of bits of mint because that's quite strong, and then just repeat it. So I don't know how long these would last because I always make them fresh. But you can have all of these ingredients prepped beforehand, and away you go. They are absolutely delicious, tasty.
So I think you would make them, like you wouldn't make a week's worth because they wouldn't last, but you could have all your things ready to go and make quick lunches in the morning. Definitely.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
My husband used to take Vietnamese rolls like this in the truck with him.
Did he?
And they were so jealous over in Adelaide in the depot. He gets out his lunchbox and they're like, oh, wow.
So did you make them just before he left, or did you have them in the fridge overnight?
I'd make them the night before and just put them in a lunchbox.
Oh,
and he'd either eat them on the run in the truck, or he'd have his little dipping sauce as well as and he'd be sitting over there and I'm like, oh, you tossy.
Oh, awesome. We've had a few tips in the thing. Tracy pre-cut everything before the thermi. Now she'll be able to just whip them up in no time. Sarah says that she makes them the night before and wraps them very tightly in cling wrap.
Okay.
so they stay nice for the lunch boxes the next day.
You know what? I think they would go really well in the vacuum seal container.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or you could put them in the vacuum seal bags, because you get 5 bags with the wand and the container, and you could put them in the bag and vacuum seal them.
You could.
So, you could, couldn't you?
I've just added myself on to your spotlight, Anne. Thank you for showing us those, which is absolutely fantastic. So you've only done a couple,
Yes.
but as we said, you can make them as you go. So quick, I'm just thinking whether Kim's ready, or do you want me to talk about this? Do you want to do the Afghans now, Kim? Oh, look at those, Anne. They look amazing.
I know.
I'm coming to your house. I'll be there in 2.
Yeah, I want to come too. I want to come. They look awesome. I'm going to have to make them. I'm going to have to make them. Okay, so we're going to go across to Kim once again. He's making us a quick biscuit.
Sorry, I am. I just had to take my sunshine bread out, so that's all ready to show you. Okay, Afghan biscuits. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of an Afghan biscuit, but this is a childhood memory of mine. I love them. They are just so beautiful. They've got a crunch, they're chocolate. There's no egg in it either, which is really quite cool. So an Afghan biscuit, we are preheating the oven. That is already on. I've got my beautiful rose gold baking tray with the liner on it now. You know, no more baking paper. I love it. They don't stick to it, and it's really simple to use. So we've done that. Now it's actually asking us to put 200 grams of softened butter just into the bowl. It's so soft, it's sticking to the spatula. That's good. There we go. Some brown sugar, 100 grams of that. And this is the best thing. If you don't want to use that, you can alter it. That's what I love about these recipes. I'm just going to pop the lid on, and for 20 seconds, that's just going to whip that butter and sugar for us. Now, I can remember my home eco teacher back in the day saying, you know, you've got to whip that butter and sugar until it's white and creamy, otherwise it just won't work. 20 seconds. I can always remember having to go back to the bench and give that extra whip up, whereas this is what I love. 20 seconds. Miss Malaysia, look what I've done. But it will actually ask us to do it again. So that's brown sugar. I've got a bit of butter around the bowl, but look how white that is already. So it's just asking me to scrape down the side of the bowl so it is all incorporated. And then just for another 20 seconds to give it that extra whip, so it helps that brown sugar dissolve. Now, in Afghan biscuit, the crunch is cornflakes. So you kind of actually having a little bit of breakfast maybe as well with these. So really, really quick and easy with this, with a little bit of cocoa, some flour, and a little bit of vanilla. So scraping down the side of the bowl. Now, plain flour we are going to put into that. Look how white that is. Beautiful. 40 seconds, and that is whipped. Scrape the side of the bowl. It's asking for some plain flour, which I've already pre-weighed, and also some cocoa powder. So they both go into there with 1 teaspoon. I'm just going to guess that. That's maybe a little bit too much of our vanilla. Pop that on. And for 10 seconds.
Once again, a quick whip, 10 seconds and you're done.
What are we up to? 40, that's 50 seconds.
Yeah, it'd take you longer to get in the car and go and buy some cookie dough.
Oh, absolutely.
Which it cost you I think it's about $8 now for those I was going to swear, for those little tiny rolls.
That is absolutely ridiculous. And all those bits and pieces that you don't even know what's in it. It's asking me to add the cornflakes into the mixture. Now, when it says here to turn it on for 10 seconds on reverse, I actually am going to go home, so it will bookmark it. And I love to use my dough function. I'm just turning it on. So I find that if you go on reverse, it will actually mix it in a little bit. Then it'll ask me to do it again. With our blade here, this is now 10 seconds on our dough function. So it's actually turning one way, then it'll turn the other way. I find that incorporates a lot of things so much quicker and easier as well. So there we go. I'm just going to spray it down our bowl. And there's our beautiful dough. It will say to do it again. I don't think I have to because I did it that way. So that's just a little bit of a trick or a tip. I love to go onto the dough function when I'm incorporating, you know, or you use cranberries, Simone, or chopped chips or whatever I'm using as well. So our mixture's all done. And then it's actually asking us to do, I'm going to go back to unbookmark and go to where we were. It's asking us to do it again for another 5 seconds. And then it's asking us to put, this will make about 20. So about a tablespoon, we're just popping on here. And then with the back of the spoon, we just flatten it. So this makes 20.
Wow, that's a good recipe mix.
Every child loves a bit of crunch. Every child loves chocolate, and most children love a little bit of cornflakes. So I find it's really quick and simple. And then after they are cooked, we just make an icing. And I've got some that I made earlier, so I'll show you that a little bit later. And then we pop a walnut on the top. Kids aren't a fan of walnuts. I always do it because, like I said, it's a childhood memory, and I love them. So I'm going to put the walnut on. If they pick it off, I'll just eat it. So, yeah. So there we go. I'm going to keep going with those. I'm going to keep going with our sushi, and then you can come back to me and I'll show you the end product of everything. Yeah,
that'd be awesome, Kim. Thank you. Okay, so before we head over to Simone, I just want to recap on. Do you have any questions? Do you have any comments, tips, ideas, or questions about anything you've seen tonight? Just pop them in the chat for me now and we can answer them as we go. Most of these recipes I've put in the chat. They are available on Cookie Do. There are a few that aren't. But if you want, what's that recipe that Simone did at the beginning, the popcorn brunch? We might be able to get that one for you. So the current offer at the moment for a Thermomix, when you purchase a Thermomix, you're going to get the vacuum seal containers, which we've talked about tonight, absolutely free as a free gift. Now, what is so good about these containers? I tell you now, they will vacuum seal anything that's in them and keep them fresh for a long time. So apples, once they're cut, they go brown. We have tested apples in here and we got up to 14 days and they're still as crisp and beautiful as ever. So this is available at the moment as a free gift when you purchase your Thermomix. So what you get with it, you get this amazing glass container along with the vacuum seal and 5 bags. So here's the 5 bags. Like now, as Kim said before, and you can reuse these. You could do the sushi or the rice paper rolls in these in the fridge. They just open them up, unseal them, and they're good to go. You'll also get your sealing wand, which is this. And this is how we seal the container. So I'm going to show you how that works. So at the moment, I'll just let that out. We take the lid off. So it's got a couple of dials here. One's got the month and one's got the day. So you put in what you have, what date it is, and you put your items inside. Now, I've used the cutter to do my lunches for this week. And as I said before, I cut my cucumber in half. So you'll see I've got half sizes cut. So I cut it in half. So I've got sort of a chunky salad all ready to go in this vacuum seal bag. So this is going to keep fresh for me all week. So I'm going to take a cup of this out every day and then reseal it. So how do I reseal? All I need to do is I'll pop the lid on like so. If you want to use it like just a normal container, just clip the sides down and it will hold in place like so. So, but I'm going to show you this vacuum seal. So I'm not going to clip it down. I'm just going to pop it on top. I'm going to get my little wand, sit it over the top, push the button here. It's sucking all the air out as we speak. I'll just put it down. Turn it off. And look at that. I'm lifting it up by the handle. They're not even locked in. That's how tight the seal is. So this is available free with any Thermomix purchase. So if you would like to purchase tonight, if you're a guest here for someone and this is the first time you've seen Thermomix and you'd like one of your own, reach out to your host or your consultant will be in touch with you anyway. If you don't have a current consultant at the moment, you can reach out to the email where you got your registration and I'll be able to hook you up with someone. So that's the free gift. So I've done my salads for the week. I know they're going to stay fresh. And this took me about 5 or 6 seconds. It literally has got celery, carrot, cucumber, and capsicum all ready to go. So that's that. The other thing I made tonight, ready for my lunches, was a bolognese. So I did a mushroom bolognese. So instead of using mince, I used the high heat function recipe of sauteed mushrooms. So this is another great tip. Get little takeaway containers, leftovers from the night before, pop them in the fridge, ready to go for lunches or in the freezer. So I could label this and pop it in my freezer for one day next week if I didn't want to eat it straight away. So there's some other great little tips for you. The cutter at the moment, here it is. I'm going to go through that in a little bit more detail. This is a host reward. So if you host your own demonstration, a few people have brought people along tonight. This is available to you free when your guest purchases a Thermomix. So if you've got someone in your world that you know would benefit from a Thermomix, now is the time to reach out to your consultant and invite those friends of yours around so you can get one of these for free. So basically it is a bowl which sits in the top of your Thermomix. You've got your blades, which sit on top like so. And then you've got the chute where you put food in. Now, that just literally sits on top. And you think, oh, how is my Thermomix going to work? So once your lid is on top of your Thermomix, the arms that normally lock in on the 6 and the 5 will come over and lock in here. So that's why it is only compatible with the 5 and the 6. So you cannot use this with a TM31 and it will not work. Okay, so that's the current offers. That's the Thermomix. They're calling it the Thermomix cutter, grater, slicer, whatever you want to call it, really. It's up to you. Yeah, so we've got no questions, I think, in the chat. So I might just go around to everyone and see how we're going. Simone, what have you got there for us?
So I have covered my popcorn muesli bars with chocolate, a little bit naughty, and I put a bit of glitter on them just because I do that. And so these are my little
chocolate and drizzled over the top.
Yep. I put a little bit of grapeseed oil in it to make the chocolate a little bit more runny, and it's set quite well. But they do go soft pretty quick, so you kind of need to leave them in the fridge or have a cold pack, I think, if you are putting them in a school lunch.
Okay.
My little banana bites, I put a little bit of glitter on them too, and they're just nice and dainty. They'd be good for little kids.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could obviously make them in a bigger muffin if you wanted to as well.
Awesome.
I'm going to take these to work tomorrow and they'll have to eat them at work. So, yeah.
That's awesome. So you can see those two recipes. So those muesli bars, you could definitely cut them into half as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Or you just use a small container.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. They are fantastic. I hope you guys have liked those. Now we're going to add on, Anne, let's have a look. Annie.
Okay, so I have the coffee date muffins fresh out of the oven.
Oh, yum.
I got 11 out of that mix. And let's just break one open.
Don't do that. You'll have to eat 3.
I
They're so delicious.
They are. That looks gorgeous. Really nice. And then we have our big boys.
Wow, yum.
So I've still got more ingredients, and I've made 5 so far, but I think that's probably all I'll make for tonight. That'll be enough for us. And I had a sneaky taste of the peanut sauce. It is delicious, absolutely delicious. I'll make that sauce again, and I'm excited to try the jackfruit. I've seen other consultants make this recipe, and it's been on my bucket list for a while. I've always wanted to do it, and I'm excited to try it. And had good.
Have a go now. Have one now.
Have one now. Oh, I don't think I could eat one on screen. It's a bit rude.
Oh, it's not rude. Anyway, we've lost Kim. So.
Okay.
Here I am.
Where are you?
I can see you. I'm waving.
No, I can't see you.
Oh,
Hang on. I can hear you. I can't
There she
find
is.
you. Where?
There she is on the screen there. She was there.
Oh, there she is. There we go.
beautiful.
What have you got there, Kim?
Okay, so what did I make first? I made the bread. So this is my cooked one that I did today. And then
that looks delicious.
So have a look at that. Just beautiful, beautiful.
Bring it in nice
beautiful.
and close.
Like that.
Yeah. Yum.
Awesome. So there we go. This is the one I've just taken out of the oven as well. So there's another one of those. This is my beautiful sushi rolls. So that's cut. And I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll be able to make 6.
Wow. And they're big. They're big. That's
they are
awesome.
huge. And then for dessert, we've got our beautiful Afghan biscuits. And they have just the chocolate icing with our beautiful walnuts on the top.
Can I come to your house?
Yes.
Yum, yum. Well, we've done really well. Thank you all so much. Thank you, guys. You've done an absolutely fantastic job. And I hope everyone with us tonight has enjoyed our recipes. I've got my lunch done and my bolognese. If you haven't tried mushroom bolognese, you know what I did? I used a chunky bolognese recipe. Instead of mince, I added the sauteed mushrooms. Delicious. And I used zucchini noodles. Delicious. So please reach out to your consultant. Grab yourself a demonstration. Invite people that you know that would benefit. Not so much that you think will buy. That's not what it's about. It's about showing people how a Thermomix is going to benefit their life. And hopefully you'll be able to get one of these little beauties to add to your own collection, absolutely free. If you would like to talk about earning your Thermomix or joining our amazing team and coming and cooking a week's supply of food in an hour and a bit, please reach out to your consultant and ask for more details, because we're more than happy to help you out with that one. So for now, thank you all. Thanks, Simone. Thank you, Anne and Kim. And we will see you all next time.
Bye.
Thank you.